Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Hope we're doing good. I'm a day late. I was at my parents' house. They don't have internet. It is what it is. But I have Christmas spirit and a nice hat that does not fit my massive noggin. Unlucky, I'm not wearing that actually. Anyway, today I want to discuss the ways that Dauntless could make their weapons more enjoyable. And the player can do something themselves, I guess, though it's not their responsibility for the most part. To a certain extent, yeah, the player should really be more open to different experiences and having the game be more enjoyable. But the devs are the ones who should make the game fun for the most part. They should make it easy to have a good time playing their game to some extent. Granted, I haven't played the game for a while, so it's a little bit different, but I feel that some changes need to be made because there just needs to be more choice. There needs to be more variety. So the biggest problem I think there is in Dauntless when it comes to the weapons and what makes them lackluster and not as fun as they could be is the specials aren't that special and the modifiers don't modify that much. That's it. It's that simple. It really is that simple. And an example is really clear. In basically every single weapon, you will have fluff and bulk. What do I mean by that? There are things that exist that don't really need to be there, or they seem kind of like, it's like, hey, we had this idea, let's go ahead and change it a little bit and then add it again to the same thing. Ignore the duplication bug here. They're playing Skyrim, I guess. But you have Ironheart Landbreaker. You drop a buff in the form of a Landbreaker that gives you 40% damage reduction and healing over time. Oh, that's crazy. Ironheart Landbreaker. Nice special. You also have Mighty Landbreaker. Huh, it's the same damn name, I guess. Close enough. You drop a Landbreaker that gives you a buff. In this case, you get extra damage. These are practically the same special, except one gives you damage reduction and one gives you a damage buff. Now, the problem with this is these don't really change the way you play the game. They're not exactly that special either because you're dropping a buff every 30 seconds. That's all you're doing every 30 seconds during a fight is just dropping a buff. Sure, it gives you more damage, but that doesn't change anything aside from how big the numbers are and how fast something dies. Those aren't significant enough changes to make the game more fun to play in the long haul. Which is why Hammer, I don't think is one of the, I'm pretty sure it's why Hammer is one of the least used weapons in the game. As far as I can, make an assumption of. You also have whatever this is supposed to be, Concussive Salvo, dude. This is like the most beginner special in the game. Hold the load ammo to the hammer and you can release it dealing damage. This can interrupt, sure. A funny thing with the hammer is you can interrupt without this. Here's me using the special. I'm gonna go ahead and charge it 6 pips. Pause. Grab the wall. Look at that damage, bro. 1152. Sheesh. Let's go ahead and remove that special. So the main purpose of that is going to be to interrupt. I can put on my Landbreaker, right? Guess what? If I load up back my stuff, I can still interrupt. You just press heavy attack twice in quick succession. It takes more effort, I guess, but I can still interrupt. I can still practice that. I can still learn that. What's the point in having the first special at all? What is the purpose in having that special at all? It should not exist. It doesn't do enough. It's not special enough to be a special in Dauntless. It's just not. Now, granted, I don't think these specials are that special either. I think that these are pretty lackluster. Like, sure, it's more damage. It's impactful, I guess, but it's not making the hammer that much more fun to play. It's just making you a buff bish. B-I-S-H. Not a curse word. Just saying. YouTube. But a lot of specials follow this same kind of trend where they're just not special enough. They just don't do enough. Now, strikers are an exception. They kind of have fun specials for the most part. Now, I think Adamant Bolt could be cooler. It could have an extra effect. I'm not sure what. That's not my job to know what. It feels like it's missing a little something. It doesn't even have to be more damage. It could just be something else. It could be like a different kind of effect or ability. You could make it to where the damage is the exact same, like the exact same output of damage, but make it a bit cooler. Titan's Crash is a great special. It's fun. For modifiers, though, strikers have the same issue as most weapons. Although they don't really have many modifiers, so it's not the same example, but they have 3 modifiers and one is absolute dog water. One is a great idea, but it's not exactly that useful as far as I can tell. And then you have like the meta used like almost in every single build. Inertial Fist Guard. Surge deals 25% damage. Mind you, Surge does effing no damage. It does no damage, but Surge deals 25% damage and you can stack it 3 times. You get more move speed. Watch, this is a full Surge right here with 3 stacks. 240 damage with 3 stacks. Wow, that's so poggers. That is so sick. Also, the training ground just makes me rage a little bit. There's just so many people just shooting. But as you saw, that is pitiful. That is a pitiful excuse for a modifier. That is the definition of fluff and bulk when it comes to modifiers in this video game. That does nothing. It is not interesting. It is not useful. It is not impactful. It is nothing. It should not exist, but it's an option. And the player sees that and goes, I have 3 options. Nice. You don't. This is not an option. It's a modifier that doesn't modify anything meaningful at all. But it still exists. It still takes up space. It still takes up unwanted space. And it goes past that. Like, there's more weapons that have the same issue. But that is the inherent issue with the game. The modifiers in the game do not modify enough, and the specials are not special enough. Deal 50% more damage to minions, fauna, and objects. The game doesn't center itself around that enough for this to be impactful at all. 20% increased move speed when at 6 or less ammo. Maybe you can use that with Tempest to make it a bit more damage dealing, but you're better off not doing that, I suppose. And power reloading at exactly 0 ammo decreases the cooldown of both abilities by 4 seconds. That's a good modifier. That's actually a good modifier. Reduce both ability cooldowns by 2 seconds when dodging through behemoth attacks. This is just way better. It's just like 10 times better for most weapons, aside from like Twin Suns, I guess. Increased damage fall off range by 25%. That really shouldn't be a modifier. It doesn't modify enough. It doesn't do enough. And I could go on. Like, there's more that I could talk about, but that's basically the gist of it. Is modifiers do not modify enough, and specials are not special enough to really exist in some cases. And even the ones that are seemingly good could be better, and they could be improved on. You could have upgrades or something. I don't know. Maybe you sacrifice some cells in your build to upgrade your mods, but you could just have upgrades for modifiers that the player has to unlock by being cracked at the video game. And aside from that, if you want more content, check out my second channel and TikTok, links in the description. Also, I will be playing Monster Hunter Rise on the 12 when it releases, probably on stream, and I will hopefully make some videos if I enjoy the game. And other than that, I'll be playing other games and trying to make more content than just Dauntless. As y'all can tell, I've just been making videos more or less critiquing the game and trying to improve it, but there isn't much to do in wake of actual content for veteran players. Maybe they're working on it, but I'm really not sure. That's kind of where I'm at. But y'all have a beautiful day. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.